Welcome, guys. This is IB Ibans from Technically Rich Academy. I know it's been long since I posted a video of this kind on YouTube, though I've been posting YouTube short videos. So, on today's video, we will be talking about. I'll be sharing with you guys my outlook on DXY, which is dollar index, and other associated pairs for the coming week. So, like I said in my previous videos, this channel is I'm basically just I take this channel to be like where I post content that I will come back in time to rewatch and then learn from it myself. So my contents here are just basically for me to learn from it in time, and also help you guys to also learn few things from it. And if you have anything to contribute, you are very free to drop it on the comment section. So let's dive right into the chart. Now, this is the DXY, that is the dollar index chart, monthly time frame chart. Now let me clear off the chart so I can start everything with you guys. So on the monthly time frame, like I mentioned in my previous videos, on the monthly time frame we have a fair value gap here. So we have a fair value gap here. Now price traded into the fair value gap and then pushed up a little. Price pushed up a little, and now if you zoom into the chart very well, you notice that we had a volume imbalance here. Now if you don't know what a volume imbalance is, volume imbalance is when two candle bodies doesn't meet each other, but the wick does. Now if you notice, the wick of this candle and the wick of this candle, they cross each other, but the body of the candle doesn't. If you look to this other side, it's not the same thing here. If you look to this other side, it's not the same thing. If you look to this other side, it is the same thing. There's a volume imbalance here, or there was a volume imbalance here, but there was no volume imbalance here. There was also no volume imbalance here. So this is what we call volume imbalance. So you see me marking it out as VI, volume imbalance. So price traded into the volume imbalance right here. This was the first time. Traded again back to the volume imbalance and then started dropping. Now let's move into the weekly time frame. Now on the weekly time frame, we notice that the volume imbalance also was a weekly order block, weekly bearish order block, which was this last bullish candlestick here. But I won't really take that into consideration. I'll still keep in mind, I'll still take it that price reverse from the volume imbalance. So after price push starting to volume imbalance, it started pushing down on the weekly time frame. So there's not much information here to take out from the weekly time frame, honestly. So I'll move down to the daily time frame, and then on the daily time frame, you notice that we had market swept took out this low, the liquidity that was sitting. Let me shift this. The liquidity that was sitting below this low, market took it out. The sell side liquidity that was here, and then we had a break of structure at this point. We had a break of structure at this point. After the break of structure, you can now take this. We can now take this last bullish candlestick here. These are previous order block to be a breaker block that price rejected from at this point. Now inside this breaker block, we also add an order block here. So we had a breaker block and an order block. Now right inside there, if you look very well, you can also spot a volume imbalance here. You can also spot a volume imbalance here. Now personally, I would love to see price trading into this volume imbalance. This is what I will personally love to see price do, but that doesn't mean I'll just wait for the volume imbalance. I'm open to whatever the market offers. So once the market opens, I'll be ready to trade whatever the market has to offer. If the market doesn't want to reverse into the volume imbalance, it wants to move up from these two institutional reference points, which is the breaker block and the other block, I'll be okay with that. So for now, if price is to come back lower to trade into the volume imbalance, I would love to see price taking out the liquidity, the sell side liquidity that is sitting below here. This sell side liquidity, I would love to see price taking out that sell side liquidity. First of all, there is the previous day sell side liquidity here, sell side liquidity here. So that's what I'll be expecting price to. Now let me jump to the 1 hour time frame. Now no, let's go back to the daily time frame. Sorry about that. So on the daily time frame, you notice that there was another volume imbalance here that price was rejecting off. So price is basically rejecting off this. No, this wasn't a volume imbalance. Sorry about that. Now if you notice the difference between this imbalance and this gap, and this other gap is that this other gap, the wick of the candles, they meet each other. In this other gap, there was no wick. The wicks didn't meet each other here and here. So I personally call this kind of gap, I call it a gap, or I can just call it a void. So it's still an institutional reference point. So price tapped into it and then started dropping down. So on the 1 hour time frame, you notice price started pushing up on Friday to the upside. So basically what I'm looking out for is, once the market opens, I would love to see a gap to the downside, something like this to the downside, new week gap to the downside. If I see a gap to the downside, that's going to give me confidence that okay, USD, that is US dollars, is going to be bearish to take out the sell side liquidity sitting below here, and maybe the one sitting below here, and then go straight into our volume imbalance on the daily time frame, on the daily time frame right here. But I'm also open, if I don't see the gap, if we should have bullish confirmation, I'll then buy to take out the liquidity that is sitting above here, above all these highs, all these old highs here. So currently I'm open to anything that market offers, either sell or buy position. So now if US dollar is bearish, so what I'm just waiting for US dollars to before it's going to. If US dollars is bearish, I'll be looking for buys on GBPUSD, that is a bullish move, while I'll be looking for sells on USDCAD. I trade just USDCAD and GBPUSD only. But if dollar index is bullish, I will then be looking for sells on GBPUSD, while I'll also be looking for buys on USDCAD. So currently I'm just on the sideline waiting to see whatever the market has to offer in the coming week. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Please do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell, and let's learn together. Thank you very much guys. See you in the next video, and I wish you a profitable